Hi, I'm Joanna, and I'm so glad that you've come back to be with us. Do you have a problem with this? Many people that I speak to have problems with this, and there were times when I had a problem with it too. Do you have a problem with experiencing God, really feeling Him as being close? There might be times when you think He doesn't care about me, He doesn't care about my pain. I don't know if you can relate to the things that I am going through. Do you see Him as distant and uninterested? Do you have that problem? Or maybe you don't. Maybe you're close to Him. Maybe you know how He relates to your pain. But for those of us who are not quite there yet, I want you to stay with me, because this is not in defense of God, but this is a show you how His words can come alive for you, and how you can experience despite the pain that you're going through, despite the experiences that you have, and that despite the things that you're experiencing at the moment. Okay, so you may have cried, you may have fasted, you may have been praying for months and years. I remember somebody said to me, well, He delivered David straight away, but for me He took 30 years. Maybe you are that kind of person where you've been waiting and waiting and waiting, and you're wondering, what is going to cause this pain that's in my chest to lift? What is going to make things better for me? What is going to make it? When am I going to get my breakthrough? You might be asking that, and you want some evidence. You want some evidence to prove that God is real, that He cares. Not only that He's real, you might know, you might be going to church, but because you're not seeing any breakthroughs in your own pain, in your own personal experience, you're struggling to understand how to relate to Him. You're struggling to connect with Him because you don't think He connects with you. So I want us to look at Isaiah 49 verse 16, just to start the conversation. And this is a long conversation, one that you might have to carry on in your own time, but I want you to sit with it for a little bit, and to allow it to really sink in. Isaiah 49 verse 16 says, "See, I have inscribed you on the palm of my hands, and your walls are continually before me." It says, your walls, your life, your story is continually before Him. And you might be wondering, well, if my story is continually before you, how come this part of it happened? There was once when I asked that question too. Why me? Why now? How come? And then it feels to go, it just goes against your walls are continually before me, because if it is, then how come? And friends, sometimes we might never have answers to those questions. And I'm going to say the next word that I know we struggle with and we'll have to deal with another time is trust that when He says your walls are continually before Him, that's what He means. Here are 3 ways that you can begin to shift that weight in your chest. Okay, so number 1, it's connection. What is the source of your connection? What do you do to connect with Christ? And I don't mean just wake up and have Bible study and prayer and off you go. I hear people say, I do my devotions in the car, I do it while I'm walking or whatever. But think of deep heart-to-heart connection. What's your connection like? That might be one of the keys that will lift that weight from off your chest. And number 2, how does others see me? Sometimes when people project stuff onto us, we see God in that projection, especially if these are people with spiritual authority, and we struggle to separate who they are from who God is. And because of that struggle, we're wondering, do you care? Because this person, who perhaps is an elder, as I said, in spiritual authority, says what they say or do what they do, we project that onto God as well. So one of the ways to shift this weight is to kind of ascribe to God what is His, and get to, as I said in number 1, is connection. Get to see who He really is through His word, so you can see Him and not who people project. And number 3, how does God really feel about me? And how do we know how God really feels about us? We know how God really feels about us when we read the Bible, when we read His words. Now, just sitting with and reading will absolutely blow you away, and just allowing Him to speak to your heart in that kind of way, so He can tell you how He really feels about you. So here, as I read earlier, Isaiah 49 verse 16, where he says he's graven you on the palm of his hands, and your walls, your pain, your struggles, your broken heart, your heartache, the things that cause you to cry at nights when nobody knows, is continually before him. But also he says about you that in Psalms 139 verse 14, that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. He says, marvelous are my works, you, and that my soul knows right well. So if you're struggling with, if you have the problem of, do you see me? Where are you? These are the promises that he makes to you. And friends, those are just some of the problems. There's so many more that you can find when you spend time connecting with him and getting to know his heart for you. I hope you'll take that opportunity.